Joining us for that is Tom Vadavaz. He is the president of the Canadian Home Inspection Service in Niagara Falls. And Tom, what are the parameters for getting your home inspected? Is it just when you're buying or selling a house? Pretty well.
Pretty well. You know, you've got people who are interested in buying houses and now interested in selling homes with home inspections, and so we're getting two different ends of the spectrum here, where people who are buying homes and making their largest investments are looking at what am I getting into, and we as professionals are hired to do physical evaluations of the house. So we look at all the physical aspects, and we kind of get mixed up with appraisers. We do not do appraisals. We simply look at the physical analysis of a house, be it the electrical, the plumbing, the heating, air conditioning, windows, doors, floors. So that's what we get involved with.
Now, obviously, from your perspective, you would recommend someone doing basically an entire one, get one done, no matter what, if you're about to buy a home, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I find it, and what we're finding now is, depending on the territories and areas of Canada, and specifically Ontario, it's very, very popular in Toronto. It's worked its way out into areas like the Niagara region, where pretty well in that area, you're looking at about 70% of homes are inspected. While in Toronto, you're looking at 95%.
Well, it is growing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, okay, so if you're looking at a house, and say you're at a home, and they have a copy of a home inspection, should you get your own home inspection if you're getting that serious about the house? Should you bring in your own person, or is the person that's brought in to inspect the home, even if they've been brought in by the person who's selling the house, I mean, I mean, it's all like as it is. It's true. They aren't going to try to help you out a little bit here. I won't mention this thing, and we'll leave that out. Like, everything is exactly what it is, right? You don't have to worry about getting one afterwards.
Well, that's a good question, because what happens is, if you're buying a house and there's an inspection already on site, you have to look at who conducted the inspection, and sometimes you have to take things at face value and look at it and say, well, you know, am I looking at a reputable company who conducted this inspection? We're finding in the industry quite a many home inspectors or home inspection companies are not regulated at this present time, and hopefully through associations like the Ontario Association of Home Inspectors, we're going to see more affiliated home inspectors out there, and then you're going to feel confident with the inspection report that's out there, be it on the selling side of it. So if I'm buying a house that's already got an inspection and I'm looking at the list of things that have been corrected and all that, I can hope that I'm looking at a proper type of home inspection that's been conducted on the other side.
Now, how long, if someone was to book one, how long would should one take if someone was coming over to do an inspection?
Well, quite often when you made the purchase agreement, purchase the home, what happens is then people are looking for proper home inspectors, and we're going to get into another edition and talk about that, how to find a good home inspector.
Right.
It's at that point that it's booked, and we meet on site, and we spend 2 to 3 hours to conduct a thorough evaluation of the house. And
do you file a report? Like, it comes in like a full document outlining all of the issues or non-issues of the house?
Yes, yeah, it's a full report. Some people get into a computerized reporting system. Some people get into a book form inspection reporting system. Quite often, if it's a good reporting system, it's been evaluated, been approved by proper associations like the Ontario Association of Home Inspectors, and it is usually segregated in areas where we comment on things like the roof, the exterior, the structure, the electrical, the plumbing, heating, air conditioning, kitchens, fireplaces, bathrooms, and interiors.
Wrong in those things.
But now last year we did a basement renovation project, and we gutted the basement. Now, when they took everything out of, emptied everything everything out. We found a lot of dodgy wiring that someone had done, the previous owner. Now that's the one issue, is that, you know, there are certain things that that a home inspector isn't going to be able to see unless you start smashing out walls, right? Like you don't get to see, you don't get to know everything about a house.
You're absolutely right, and a lot of people think that home inspectors are going to catch absolutely everything, and that's just not going to happen. We can't see behind walls, we can't see behind finishes, and quite often this is usually related to basements, where the individual has done his basement renovation, the handyman home wiring job, and
That's what we had, yeah.
Yes, and the ceiling finishes and the floor finishes as well. But you know, when we look for telltale spots of possible problem areas, and we do the best we can. But if we can't see behind walls, you can't expect any home inspectors to actually comment on that.
What are some of the crazy things that you've come across over the years?
Quite the most popular and the most costly to prospective buyers is structural. It usually is related to structural problems, and those are the bigger ones. I mean, you're looking at a furnace that's $3,000, roof that's $4,000, some plumbing maybe a couple thousand. But when it comes to the structure, it's you'll find that people seem to put things in areas that prevent home inspectors to looking into those areas, and they're quite often related to structural.
Well, and let's face it, the average person isn't looking for those kinds of things, right? They're too busy looking at the cosmetic issues with the house, and if they like the house, they're just seeing it for
Size of
face
the
value,
rooms
right?
and the
Exactly.
flooring and-
They're not looking, you know exactly where to look to maybe detect certain issues, right?
Exactly, and that's why you're hiring a home inspector, because he's there to look at the big things, and the big things are the roof shingles, the electrical system, the plumbing, the heating and air conditioning, and the roof, electrical, plumbing, structure.
You know, and they say too that people don't want to move into a home where they have to do those big projects, right? So if
they're big dollar
because they're big
projects,
dollars, right? So they don't
Can
want to
be.
have to, and time consuming and messy too, right? So they don't want to have to go in, but especially if it's a big surprise. You move in and 6 months later, you know, your entire roof has to be replaced or something, right? Then that could be an issue.
And that comes up every once in a while, where and quite often I get calls after the fact where someone's purchased a home and has come across these large repairs, replacements, be it roofs, be it basement. I bought a house, you know, I found the basement was leaking, and well, did you get an inspection conducted? And well, we didn't think we needed one. Well, there you go.
Yeah, buyer beware.
Yes,
so-
exactly.
Now, what would the average cost of a home inspection? What should a person expect to pay for that?
Everything is related to the size of a house, the age of a house, where it's located. I mean, if I find that I'm driving long distances and I'm looking at a house that's much older, much bigger, you know, but the average cost can be about $300, $400, $500.
Okay, that's
So-
money well spent.
It's money well spent.
Yeah,
Sure.
and you're going to visit us every month
Yes.
and give us some more great home inspection
And help us
tips.
find good inspectors.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Yeah, you can go to CanadianHomeInspection.com. There's the number for Canadian Home Inspection Services, Inc. Tom Vadavaz, thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next month.
Thank you very much.
All right,
Take
after
care,
the
guys.
break, we are going to come back to some of those millionaire cocktails we promised you.
Don't go away.
Wait.